So I think we are live. Yes. Hello and welcome. If you're watching live, if you're watching a replay, hello, welcome again. Just some housekeeping before we start here. I may be looking away from the camera from you because this over here, I have kind of a screen with all control panels and the chat, etc. This is my computer down below. Obviously, this is the camera, and this is the mic. And Woof, my dog, is somewhere, so you might see a tail wag now and again. On top of that, I live in Amsterdam. Everyone's living on top of each other. And unfortunately, someone in their infinite wisdom decided to start hammer drilling today as I wanted to live stream. So you might hear a bit of background noise. Now, in today's live stream, basically what I want to talk about is inboxes, the amount of inboxes you have. Now, in the past, inboxes used to be these literal boxes that used to put papers. You know, your boss used to come to your desk or your colleagues and put stuff on your inboxes. You would take it out of the inbox and then you would start working on those things. Now, there you go, there's the drilling. Sorry about that. So, and that was kind of relatively easy. Now in the digital world, we all have computers and phones and iPads and various devices. And every single one of them are probably synced with your email, with your calls, your video calls like Zoom, etc. And we got to limit the amount of inboxes we have. I believe we have to limit them because the more inboxes you have, the more places you have to go to actually get the information. I think that's kind of wrong. Back in the scenario that I was explaining a moment ago with the box on your desk, you actually only had one place to go. Now, because of these devices, we have way too many tools, way too many inboxes. So that's your email inbox, your task list manager inbox, especially if you're collaborating. Your project management tool has an inbox. Your SMS is basically what I call an inbox. So you've got to limit, firstly, the amount of inboxes effectively. But the other thing is we've got to limit who allows for things to be put into those inboxes. And the point of this live stream is kind of the latter more so than the former. And what prompted me with this is I had an issue a few years ago, where I was emailing back and forth with a client about making an appointment. And I think it took about 17 emails to figure out what date to book. So I went out and looked for a tool to be able to make that friction between me and my clients easier. And obviously, the simple task is to look for a scheduling tool. So I found a few, and I'm going to show you. Actually, let me show you now. This is my inbox. So I actually found this app, and it's great. It works really well. You put it on your website. People can basically book a date and time with you. I used it for a while, but it got a bit complicated. And for some clients, it kind of got a bit complicated as well. And then I moved over to Calendly. Now, Calendly, everyone pretty much uses. It works really well. It's really, really simple. In fact, I'm still using it, or I have done. I'm still using it, and it really does have some great features, and I can go through. There's one called Harmonizely. This is a guy who creates it, Rafael. Again, it's a fantastic tool for doing those scheduling. And we have a newcomer, which is SavvyCal, which is on Product Hunt. And again, very simple, and he's actually made this really, really simple. It's even simpler. Now, the problem with all of these tools, I found, is that you're allowing other people to put things in your calendar. So the whole point of tech minimalism, what I teach and what I coach and what I'm trying to explain, is you've got to have you've got to have the you've got to have the grip on your own time. You can't allow other people to kind of pull away at the time that you have. Time is finite. You don't have that much time in the day to do the things that you want to do. You don't have that much time in your life to do the things that you want to do. So why not control the way you give access to that time? So the issue that I started finding recently, the scheduling tools are fantastic and I've been using them, but I took them off a few days ago and I haven't had any less contact. What I have had is less, how can I put it? I haven't allowed anyone to put anything into my calendar. So I've had the control over what should go into my calendar. Because if someone could put something into it and you're thinking in the back of your mind, maybe I could do something at that time because, it's open, then bang, all of a sudden there's something in your calendar. And that to me is not a great way to go. The best way to go to get something in your calendar is to actively send out dates for people to do that. Now, I know you can do this with all of these tools that I've shown you, but you can also do it with your calendar. The calendar that I use, let me see if I can, let me get this ready into my demo. Right. So the calendar I use is Calendly. Now, a lot of people got annoyed with Calendly going to subscription-based. I did. But there is one feature, I should say, within Calendly that works really, really well is the fact that you can, put it in my demo, you can create, let's say, meeting with, I don't know, Florcha. Florcha is actually my best friend, so let's do that. And let's say it's at that time, and let's say it's on Monday. So I've set up that. But you can propose a time. So you can propose another time. Let's say I want to do it on this day, and let's say I want to do it at this time, etc. You can add the invitee, and then you can send a proposal. Now, what happens is that you haven't given anyone access to your calendar. What you've done is said, okay, I'm available this time and this time and this one, please pick one. Now, yes, there could be a time where they say, actually, these don't work, but then that's still okay. You're still sending back as many proposals as you want. I only showed you 2 dates, but you can choose pretty much as many. I don't think there's a limit to them. I usually send 3 dates, and I've never had anyone say none of these dates work. So giving access to your calendar to someone else, giving someone else access to your calendar, I don't think is the right way of doing it, because you don't have control of your inbox, because your calendar is effectively an inbox. It's something that you've got to look at to see what you need to do that day, that week, that month. Your task manager is also an inbox. So if someone can put something into it, you kind of got problems. Now, if you're working in a team, that's slightly different. And I'm not going to go through teams right now, because there have been clients that I've worked with in teams that have needed to see and access others. So for instance, if you're a director of a company or you have a secretary, etc., they need access and they need to put things into it. The thing is, you're not giving anyone external access. You're giving someone internally access to your calendar. That's slightly different because they're creating the appointments for you. So that's one thing. Your email is an inbox, obviously, that you need to check now and again. There's so many different inboxes that you can have. And I've basically limited mine to like 3 or 4. Yeah, 4, I think. There's my calendar. Is an inbox, but I don't allow anyone to put anything into it. My task manager is an inbox. I don't let anyone into it. The only thing that I let people effectively into, is email. People can email me, but it's up to me to look at it and when I need to look at it. As I've mentioned in the past, all my notifications are off. Let me show you my notifications here. And let me show you this. Sorry, I'm just gonna get this ready, then I can show you my notifications. Here we go. So here's my notifications. If you notice all the apps I have, pretty much everything is off. Fantastical is on because I need to know when an appointment happens. Find My Mac is obviously on. Everything else, this actually needs to be off. That's something I installed today. I don't know why that's on. But pretty much everything is on. Safari is on because there's certain notifications I need because my email is actually in Safari, so I need that on. My things, which is my task manager. So literally there's nothing. The reason why I have Safari on and the email notifications, where is it? And the email notifications on is because, let's show you this. I use Hey as my email. It's fantastic. I love it, the simplicity, etc. I really like this app. The thing about this is that notifications are off as default. The only time you get a notification is if you allow that person to notify you. If you only allow that person within Hey, for Hey to notify you, that I should say it that way. So that's why I have that on, because if it's a client that I'm working with and I'm coaching them over a period, I want to see notifications from them because often or not it's kind of important. So I get a notification. But that's basically the only reason I have notifications on. Everything else is off, and that's kind of mirrored onto my phone. The only thing that's extra on my phone is Signal, which is my messaging app, and my SMS, my messaging app. Now, obviously, I run a service business and people need to contact me. And what I find is that sometimes people contact me via SMS, but I don't generally check it. I check it in my own time. Personal family members contact me in a different way. So usually SMS is if I see it and I notice that it's not urgent, I often don't reply to it. So I don't generally look at it. But that's basically how I have it set up. So having control of your inboxes is a massive, massive thing for you if you want your own time. And if you value your time, you wouldn't allow people into your inboxes, into your calendar, and so on, to put things in it. So I'm just going to go over to the chat to see if anyone's got any questions. If you have any questions, put them down in the chat below. If you don't see the chat, maybe reload the page. It should be there. I don't see anything now. Okay. Okay, well, there's no chat. No one's actually messaging. Okay, that's fine. If you have any questions, there will be a contact button around here. If you have any requests, if you want me to explain this a little more, send me a message, and I think I'll end it there. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday, where I'll be talking about something else, tech minimalism. Have a great day. See you later. Ciao.